Good evening. It is about 11 o'clock here on Wednesday, I think. Since I took Monday off, I'm all discombobulated of days. Today was a productive day in the way that we put the alternator back in the 996 911. It went in a lot more easily than it came out, which I'm happy to say my dad helped today, so I'm appreciative of that. We got the part the other day, dropped it in there today, attached a B+ terminal, torqued to spec, put everything back, and then at the end of the job we realized that the 12mm 6-point quarter-inch drive short well socket is missing, and that's the same size as the socket that we used on the torque wrench to attach the positive cable or the ground or whatever the big eyelet cable is on the back of the alternator. So I get a magnet back in there and a mirror and some tools and realize that the socket must have fallen off of the detent anvil on the torque wrench, which is notoriously weak on my quarter drive torque wrench. Nate, you're like, yep, that's happened before. And then it fell down on top of the engine under the alternator and we had to wrestle it out of there, but we got it. So that's back in place. Now what happened, unfortunately, was one of the coolant hoses has this little elbow. It's an internal coupler between two hoses. It's just two barbs that fit into the hoses and then hose clamps. Ironically, different hose clamps. It's plastic, it's brittle, it broke, and then I had to order the part. Porsche San Diego had the wrong one, so we got to get the one from Carlsbad tomorrow. And then we'll be able to bolt that back into place, top up the coolant level, and then reinstall the drive belt, the serpentine belt. And then at that point, we can reconnect the battery, which I've had charging. You don't want to charge a dead battery with a new alternator, so I've got it all the way up at 12.5 volts. So tomorrow we should be in good shape to turn the key, drive that car, have it ready, get some photos, and then list it for sale. Otherwise, I picked up more parts on Kenan's M3 today. He had about 30 parts, all just hardware, just long. I needed like 3mm longer screws to go through an extra layer of plastic so it would bite into the body nut. Some body nuts and then some shorter screws as well. So I picked up all of that. We shipped out some stuff. I sold some stuff to Jeff. I sent back the return alternator on the core to FCP Euro. Just a busy day of doing shit like that. Hillary and I went out tonight, got some ice cream in Poway, came back here. We've been talking to Kenan for a little bit. Now we're getting ready for bed. I'm gonna leave today short. I'll talk to you guys on Thursday tomorrow. Good night.